On tonight's episode, we talk about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
And all the pop culture news.
We just got back from watching Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny in all of its IMAX glory. The fifth and not at all expected or looked for sequel entry into the franchise, but overall it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the last, but who knows if this movie make $1 billion? Disney's like, oh yeah, that's our new golden goose.
Yeah,
it might make more because you have to watch and see what happens. But it was fun. It was. I mean, first of all, the movie went through a lot of controversy. Was into a lot of hot water.
Hot water. Warm water is very pleasant.
That's true.
Hot water will cook you to death.
Yes.
So
it was under a lot of fire because apparently the movie was finished and people that saw hate it. So it's like you have to change
the ending in particular, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then some of the main plot too. Let's fix it. Let's do something about it. It leaked. People heard about it, and it's natural to change the movie before it gets to the final, to the theaters, but. This one, it leaked, and Disney likes their secrets, like to keep things, the set is on fire, people are dying. Disney's like, oh, no, it's fine, it's good. Anyways, so this leak, and we had evidences, actors, people involved with the movie. John Williams, the master that did the music. I have to go back to Burbank to redo the soundtrack because they changed things. They did the movie. So, but Disney denied it. So let's see. Just my audio looks so low, right?
Yeah, it does look low.
Yeah, but let me live. Let's fix this here. So, okay, this should be enough.
Okay.
If not, I'll start screaming. On Saturday Night Live in 1975, the first year, they're now ready for primetime players. Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Gilda Radner, and others. Anyways, those guys, the Weekend Update is on since then, and Chevy Chase was the first one. And Chevy, Garrett, I can't remember his last name, but Chevy Chase at some point in the news, actually was always at the end of the news. It's like, now we're gonna repeat the headlines. We're gonna repeat the news for those who have they are hearing impaired or have difficulties to hear. And then a window would pop here on the top with Garrett. I can't remember his last name. And he was like, on today's news! He would basically scream everything that was just said. Anyway, sorry if I screamed and almost made you hit your car. Or rickshaw, because we have people that listen to us everywhere. Could be on a camel. But anyways, back to Indiana Jones. So the movie was around controversy, and they deny it. It's like, that never happened. So there's some stuff in the movie at the end, especially that you're gonna notice that it's like, okay, I guess that's what they did to fix the ending.
Yeah.
And it kind of, there's some things there that's like, anyways. Either way, it's possible to do more. It's never impossible. Especially, to be honest, the movie has a prologue, and it takes place in the past, like every other Indiana Jones movie does. The cross of Coronado on Last Crusade. What's on Raiders?
That's right. It's like that jungle.
Oh yeah, the jungles of Brazil. Yeah. with Alfred Molina as a henchman.
That's right.
Anyways, so they always do that. So in this one they do too. And interesting thing about that is they use CGI AI to make a young de-aging process to make a young Harrison Ford. It looks great. It doesn't sound great. He still sounds old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess choices.
I got around that. Giving him limited dialogue and then making that dialogue all kind of like grumpy anyway. So like
because they did that with Luke Skywalker on The Mandalorian, but they de-aged the voice too.
Yeah.
Or they use archive. I'm not sure, but it doesn't sound like old Mark Hamill. It looks like young Mark Hamill, young Luke Skywalker. Anyways, well, back to that. My point is, they could cut a billionaire deal with Harrison Ford and buy the rights for his image and make AI generated movies, even though AI is a whole mess in Hollywood right now. There's this whole controversy. There's a SAG strike. There's a WAG. Is it WAG? No. WGA, right? WGA. There's a WGA strike going on. There's a SAG strike might be coming soon. Is imminent. All because of AI. But why not? It's like animation. If you have good writers and you have a digital possibility of using Harrison Ford to make good stories, it's, because they made the first three, they were really good. And then they decided to make a fourth, and he was old, and he was too old. The story kind of didn't help because people thought it was weird for Spielberg doing movies about ETs. I was like, wow. Anyways, there's several other problems.
It didn't have
and they did this again, and most of the movie he's an old guy, but I don't know. I guess 4 guys to write the movie made the movie a bit better.
So, I feel like I really enjoyed this movie. Granted, I went in with extremely low expectations, and there are a couple of points where, like, a few moments in the movie were like, okay, well, that was lazy. You're like, okay, that's a plot hole. Whatever. Like, and in large part, I enjoyed it because they just checked the box of everything wonderful about Indiana Jones. Like, everything we love about those first couple of movies. I personally don't care for Temple of Doom, but Raiders and Crusade are, like, amazing. He's fighting Nazis. Indy's always at his best when he's fighting Nazis. And we have the great score from John Williams. We had our Wilhelm scream. We had our crazy chases on motorcycles and trains and trucks. We had our exotic locations. We traveled by map. So lots of great stuff is just like, checking the boxes.
Yeah.
But in that sense, it kind of reminds me of Jurassic Park, where like, if you've seen one, you've kind of seen all of them. This one didn't necessarily do anything terribly new. Didn't break any new ground. I don't know. All that. So I may be saying this just because I really love those Indiana Jones movies, and this one kind of reference, like almost everything we see, we could point to where we'd seen that before in another Indiana Jones film. So maybe that's why I liked it, but it was fun. I thought it was much better than Crystal Skull. I enjoyed it a lot more than that.
Crystal Skulls had some major problems right from the beginning. Sean Connery didn't come back, and John Hurt's character is supposed to be Sean Connery. And to follow up on the dynamic father-son from the previous movie, and there was that Shia LaBeouf is weird, and there was always the feelings. I know this idiot. I guess no idiot ever in the history of idiots, meaning mankind, should replace Harrison Ford. But that one specific at that time, it's like, no, it can be him. They actually do even a joke at the end. It was like, oh, yes, validate everybody. So there was the problem. there was a series of problems from the beginning, and I guess the story didn't work for the audiences. Just like Temple of Doom doesn't work for some part of the audiences, but it's he has on Temple of Doom, he has a sidekick,
Short Round is like the best thing about Temple of Doom.
He has a sidekick.
I love that kid.
He has the dumb blonde.
Hate her.
Who's pretty.
Oh, she's like
but she's
probably the worst thing about Temple of Doom.
Clueless.
Yeah.
And he deals with.
But you could take her out of the movie. We would have the same movie.
No.
But it wouldn't be annoying.
But it's like
she contributes nothing. She doesn't help
funny.
Indy. She doesn't inspire.
She's funny.
So is Short Round. Indy's funny.
Yeah, but it's a back and forth.
But it wasn't a back and forth that really added anything. It was never believable.
When the whole scene,
he and Marion, that is chemistry. He and even him with Elsa Schneider, like it's chemistry, and then it's betrayal. Like wow.
Yeah.
But
anyways.
him and what's her bucket? Nope, I don't buy it for a second.
She was Spielberg's wife.
Good for her.
The Cape Capshaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while. She's not anymore. But anyway, you're amazing. What happened?
I know, my very exciting earrings. I shook my head too fiercely. My feelings about Temple of Doom are just too strong.
Yeah.
So I gotta get new bags.
I wonder if Crystal Skull has the same feelings that Temple of Doom had, because the formula is completely different. There's no Nazis. There's no historical elements. On Crystal Skull has a little bit, but it's mostly mystical, extraterrestrial, supernatural. When Crusade and Raiders had the Nazis looking for mystical artifacts,
and not just mystical, but like the literal power of God.
Yes, which comes back on this one. So again, all the good things that were made and people loved it, they brought back to this one, and that's why maybe this one works. Things that don't work.
This one they don't bring back the power of God thing. It is still
right away they do but it is but right away they do the lens that pierce.
That's right.
Christ. So the Nazis are looking for the power of God.
Yes.
And stuff happens, and they have to go in a different route. But anyways, things. What else? Do you have anything else to say?
If this movie is worth seeing, I really hope that it's the end. It's. I feel like all the bows are tied up. But like also Last Crusade.
Bows? On Indiana Jones?
No, not bows. Loose ends. That's the word I'm thinking.
Yeah.
All loose ends are tied up.
Bows on
Everything's
Indiana
nice.
Jones.
Hey, I don't know. Okay, I won't put any bows in your presents from now on.
Sure, but don't put bows on Indiana Jones.
Sorry, didn't mean to offend anybody's masculinity.
They look like snakes.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I really just kind of want to go back and watch Last Crusade and Raiders.
There's some
Again,
stuff.
It's been too long since I saw those. Also, John Williams. Like, oh yeah, okay. So you know how there's a couple bands throughout history that like they get together and they're absolute magic together, and then they split up and they all kind of do okay, but never really quite as successful as when they were together. I feel like with Indiana Jones we have kind of a similar thing. Like, it is magic when you've got Spielberg, Lucas, Harrison Ford, John Williams, all that, John Rhys Davies, Marion, a few of those other characters. When you get them together, it is perfection. But when you start losing those factors, it's not going to be as good. And so I don't think we could do an Indiana Jones story without Harrison Ford. You could put the hat and the whip on somebody else, but it wouldn't be the same. Without John Williams writing the score, please. No. And even this one without Spielberg or Lucas writing or directing, I hope, I pray that they just let it go.
Yeah.
Let him retire.
If anything, the director is set. He became good friends, I guess, with Kathleen Kennedy, and he's gonna direct one of the new Star Wars movies, one of the 3. is his. But things that I personally didn't like. There's a plot involving Indy and his family that is like straight out of the Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what it is. We're gonna see, but it was like, wait a minute, you're gonna notice. It's like, and it's a trope. There is a. It's a terrible trope. The in this one is less terrible as the Last Jedi. What they did to Luke Skywalker, the cynicism. To get old, and it was like, screw it, I'm out. Like they did with Luke Skywalker. And this one is more similar to what they did to Harrison Ford on the Force Awakens.
Yeah.
That comes, there's tragedies and there's big tragedies, there's small tragedies, there's tragedies of all shapes and sizes, but it's a trope in the movies that come a tragedy and family is destroyed. In this one, it was so clear that it was like straight out of the Force Awakens, so it was even worse. There's a couple moments in the movie that kind of, I don't know. It drags a little bit because they looking for something that is gonna help them find something. They're gonna help them find something else. They're gonna help them do something. And there's a lot of somethings.
Yeah, there is. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, some of the writing got a little lazy. It's like, did we need that extra step, or did you just want to do another travel by map to another fun location?
Let's go underwater now. So
I don't know why we need to go here, so we'll just be like, get on the boat. Okay, it got a little lazy there.
Yeah. The thing, the girl, it was okay. It wasn't bad.
I thought she played a role.
It wasn't great. I thought it was. I guess for what they proposed was that, if anything, I don't think she would, if you worry about passing the torch and she becoming Indiana Jones, which was one of the plots of the original version that never seen the light of day. You'd be certain that doesn't happen, and I don't think she would be able to anyways. Not that anybody would. But she would not even close.
I liked their dynamic. Their dynamic to me was much more believable and enjoyable than the dynamic between him and Shia LaBeouf. I thought it was a much more successful. The father-son thing just felt weird.
Angry teenager? You don't think that?
No, angry teenager by all means. But like, I don't know. Indy is a dad versus Indy is a godfather. Like. Him as a dad, it just didn't make sense.
It's not, now that you mention, I think the Godfather thing didn't. It was like he was, and that's other thing. There is not. It quite didn't work. It's like there's that thing that happens in the beginning. He got involved, like kind of the police planter, and then he gonna go to get that. Is he gonna go to get that to save himself from problems, to save her? It's not clear. It's not well done.
Sure.
Or is the
but I'm talking about the relationship
history
dynamic.
As usual?
Yeah.
So the whole talking about relationship, like, oh, she's my goddaughter, I have to go and save her. I don't feel that at all.
No.
And she does not help because she's like, screw you, Johnsies, whatever she calls it. Anyways, Dial of Destiny, Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny is available at theaters everywhere. There's a holiday coming, and it's a very American movie to watch. It
is.
Indy fighting Nazis.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's entertaining. It has problems, but I guess it was a nice farewell to our old beloved hero.
Yeah.
If the future brings us more Indiana Jones, I don't know, animation. There's a video game. EA is releasing a video game, and Indiana Jones games are always fun. Fun. The Infernal Machine, The Search for Atlantis.
Oh my.
So, anyways, but yeah, Indiana Jones and Destiny is available in theaters everywhere. You should go see it. Let us know if you like it. We did. So we recommend.
Yes, we recommend that. We did like it a lot. What appears though that fans are not liking the Flash very much.
Oh yeah, the Flash. At this point, the estimative is that they're gonna end its run at 350 million, which is, I think the movie cost what 200 and something millions.
Yeah.
But between costs and box office doesn't mean profit. So there's estimatives that the Warner Bros. Might lose $200 million with the Flash.
Yeah.
To the point that, like, the Flash is failing and suddenly, boom! New Superman! Quick! Announce new Superman!
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I see what you guys did there.
We're still good, I promise.
The Flash. But there's complaints of the visual effects.
They were rough.
Of course, my biggest. I mean, it's tough because it's the second adaptation of a big comic book saga. They did an animation one, and with all the limitations, it's still really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did it again, but it's like I'm gonna copy your homework, but I'm gonna change a little bit. It's basically it. And they changed little bits and pieces, not to improve, but even to remain the same, even to complicate. Anyways, so the movie is failing. It's a big hit for WB. Ironically, because around the time they canceled Batgirl, they shelved Batgirl. Never seen the light of day, and probably never will. There was like, but the Flash had less. The test audiences, the score of the test audiences for the Flash was less than Batgirl. You canceling Batgirl but not the Flash? Well,
that's weird.
Yeah. Either way, it's still out there. If you want to check it, it's fun, but it's not. It's not working for them. But they did announce a new Superman, James Gunn. The big boss of DC Studios, and I was thinking about this. He's the big boss of the DC Studios, and he's gonna write and direct this movie. If this movie fails, there's no way. But again, you're dealing with studio suits. They do all kind of stupid decisions. But by logic, there's no way he should remain. Right? It's like Kevin Feige directing a movie that fails. Directing, I don't know, what's the least like Marvel movie. Some people say Iron Man 2. Some will say Eternals. Yeah. Eternals sucked and flopped because Iron Man 2, people didn't like it, but it still delivered. They still made a lot of money. Yeah. But the Eternals, I think Eternals did it too, but it sucked. It was kind of the opposite.
Eternals was just a big meh. And Marvel movies should not be meh. Like, it's in the title. Marvel. Yeah. So
if you want to go serious, go serious. If you want to do it right, it didn't work. They hired a Oscar-winning director, but
they did. Chloe Zhao.
I guess Kevin Feige cracking the whip there. It's like she couldn't do what she wanted. Oh, maybe that's what you want. Anyways, so if Superman Legacy fails, it's like there's no. I mean, by logic, why would they keep him? You know. Yeah. But at this point, he's making a Superman movie called Superman Legacy, and this week he announced the cast for Superman, Clark Kent, and Lois Lane, and David Corenswet will be Superman, and what's her name?
Rachel Brosnahan.
Rachel Brosnahan. She's gonna be Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Another rumor that popped just now. I just saw that there's rumors that Brendan Fraser might be Jonathan Kent, but it's rumors. Is not a fact.
That'd be nice.
Yet. And there's a lot more to come. That we're gonna need a Lex Luthor. We're gonna need, I don't know, there's Brainiac, maybe a voice for Brainiac.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And Martha, right? Maybe Lana Lang is gonna pop there because if they're gonna have Jonathan and
that's true. If we have the Kents, then
and young Kents, because could he be the adult version's father? Doesn't he look young? Too much young for that?
Who, Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I know, like when they wrote the like in the comics, the Kents are portrayed as very old, but I think now that doesn't totally make sense. And
Yeah,
Fraser's
but the guy's
old
30.
enough.
Brendan Fraser having a 30-year-old kid. His kids are young, and teenagers, right? We saw them at the Golden Globes making fun
Is
of him.
Corenswet 30?
I think he's 29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
buy
Anyways,
it.
so there's that at DC. Also, after the announcement, Nolan came out.
Oh wait. There's one more casting rumor. There's a rumor that either Alexander or Bill Skarsgård are on the short list
that's
for
true.
Luthor, and I think they would be a great Luthor, especially because we just saw we're working our way through
Superman Lois.
yes, Superman and Lois, and we just met their Luthor, and he's really like bizarrely different from anything we've seen before. But this would be great. Those Skarsgård men like can definitely do the cold psychopath, super intelligent, level 12 intellect. Like I'd buy it from them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I hope that list. I hope they stay on that short list.
And of course, there's still Houghton. What's his name?
Oh, that's right, Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah.
It's not clear if he was auditioned for Superman or for Luthor. Well, I mean, it would not be the first time that someone auditioned for the hero and gets the villain. Like
Sure.
Tom Hiddleston auditioned for Thor and got Loki.
Yeah.
Among other classic examples.
Oh, he'd be a great Jimmy.
Who?
Nicholas Hoult.
He's too old.
I mean, if they tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if they follow the, I don't know. We'll see.
There's options.
But Nolan wasn't happy about recasting Superman. He was the producer of the Zack Snyder Man of Steel. He was the one that approved Henry Cavill. And he saw him becoming Superman, and he was happy. Everybody was happy, and he honestly thinks, like many people, that it shouldn't be the time. It's why they had everything, and if anything, they could use the Flash to fix some stuff when they decided to erase, and there's this whole mess. Anyways, more to come.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. If anything, Corenswet. David Corenswet, he does look like Cavill, so he looks like Superman. It's not bad, even though some people are making all sorts of jokes, like Cavill is Fruit Loops and Corenswet is a Walmart generic brand.
Yeah,
As
I've
sugar.
seen that. Or the whole
Yeah.
Mom, we want Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And then Mom says, we have Henry Cavill at home, and
Yeah.
it's
And there's so many
Corenswet.
other jokes.
Yeah.
And Rachel, actually, from the list that we've been talking about a couple of weeks, she was my favorite. I like her, the way she looks, and
yeah.
and they both look good. My only big problem with the movie is James Gunn. I think he's fun. He's a good guy to give Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad, secondary B-team characters, to give him the biggest superhero comic book pop culture in history. Is like we saw how he treats Superman on episode of Peacemaker, on episode of Suicide Squad, and it's like, oh. Yeah, writing and directing. Yeah, well, we'll see.
We will see. Especially, and I don't understand this, and I'm just gonna use this as a plug for us to be Hollywood consultants, because we get it right all the time, and Hollywood so often gets it wrong. But one of his first decisions stepping into the role was to ditch this perfect and beloved trinity of Cavill, Gal Gadot, and Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
Like, it was one of his first calls. I'm like, why?
Yeah, and from the end of the Flash, they would be on the end of the Flash, and we don't.
And I feel like we barely got to see them.
Yeah, it makes no sense, especially considering if you watch the Flash and you see some of these characters there. It's like on Flashpoint, the Flashpoint Paradox, the animation, you see them there because you're gonna see their reflection or dark reflection on the world of Flashpoint Paradox. On this one, it felt like things got messy because we have them or references to them in the beginning of the movie, and then we don't have equivalents to them on the Flashpoint Earth.
Yeah.
Because this is different Batman, there's a different Superman, there's different Superman. Anyways.
But it's okay, because we got to spend a lot of time with Barry's roommates in the Flashpoint. So.
Yes, yeah.
And that's, therein lies the James Gunn concern. The James Gunn touch that is great for Suicide Squad, but maybe not so much for Superman.
Yeah, Guardians. He would do, I think he would do a great Booster Gold. And I would cast Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt, Booster Gold, there you go. Get a little bit lighter on the hair. It's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, anyways.
The doofus with a heart of gold.
Yes.
Yeah. Chris Pratt has made an excellent career being a doofus with a heart of gold.
Yeah. Oh, you talked about Chris. I thought you were talking about Booster Gold.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
I say like that's. I don't know a lot about Booster Gold, but that seems to be kind of his thing.
Oh, and it's
and
such
Chris
a good
Pratt's
property.
like
Time
all
travel.
of his early roles, like all of he's gotten a little more serious, like with the
Zero Dark 30.
Yeah. No, was it that?
He was on Zero Dark 30. Yeah.
Okay.
He was.
But what was the one?
He was on Her, but he was a comedic relief. He was a friend.
Yeah,
of
no,
Phoenix.
again, lovable doofus.
Oh, he was on Terminal List. Is that the call?
Yeah, that's the one.
Terminal List.
I think so.
Yeah,
anyway,
Amazon show.
So he can do serious, but yeah, that lovable doofus.
Oh, on Jurassic
Park
Park too.
Yep.
Jurassic
World, Parks and Rec.
Yeah, he's a guy serious about his work. Of course, there's it's Indiana Jones's style. He knows what he's doing, but he's crack a joke in his personality makes everything fun. Anyways, but we'll see. Nobody called him. Nobody called us. But yeah.
But they should.
But anyways.
Yeah. Okay. So all of that whole spiel was to say that The Flash isn't doing well at the box office. But
there's the memes. The memes are great. Like there's a memes. Like, let's run in an empty place. Place so it can cause any damage. It's a thing from Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay.
They made into the Flash, and then they showed them running on a theater, an empty theater. And there's like
Savage.
comparing like the Flash versus it was the Little Mermaid beat the Flash on there was like 4th-5th week. It's like movies tend to go down, and there's one that's comparing the box office from the Flash to Ghostbusters with the girls. There's another one comparing the Flash with what was it the other? Anyways. But I don't know if it's a segue, but it is a segue. Okay.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
Yeah, but talking about the Flash, Tom Cruise watched the Flash and loved it and praised him, and he also is praising Indiana Jones. He's praising Oppenheimer. He congratulates Harrison Ford. He's being a prince. He's being the classiest guy in Hollywood. All those movies are direct competitors of Mission Impossible that comes in a couple of weeks, and those movies are still they're still booming. But he's like, go watch The Flash. Go watch Oppenheimer. Barbie is great. He's like complimenting and praising everybody, helping the industry that provides for him and his family and many other families. And he was a champion during the shooting of this Mission Impossible, when there's whole COVID restrictions and things shutting it down.
He worked so hard to keep these people employed. It's because the big actors, like Tom Cruise is fine. He doesn't have to do anything ever again. He's fine. But like the camera guys and the PAs and like the boom, like those people aren't so fine. And anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, they keep the movie working. The movie was finished and it's coming and it looks great. It excites
looks so fun.
every time we see the trailer. And he has a great formula there. I hope these are not the last, or if it's the last, the end like epically.
They're ending very well,
But he's still doing his holy work by praising the fellow industry co-workers and making people go to the theaters.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's good. You see, we hear about the whole lot of crap in Hollywood, but it's nice when you see nice guys doing nice things.
Yeah.
Or
at least someone who's just really committed to
especially
the work and making sure that not just himself but everybody around him are able to succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mission Impossible is coming.
Yeah.
Dead Reckoning. Every time I watched the trailer, I was like, so I get something. This time I was thinking, maybe it's someone from the first movie or second or third. It's like way back in the, because there's a guy from the first movie
them.
on the first trailer, so it's not him. But maybe it's someone from the first trailer, and it's called Dead Reckoning, and it makes me think maybe someone that we thought it was dead. But it was all this time was underground.
Yeah.
Like, those agents are specialists on doing it. And there's he's going against the family. And it's so good. And it's coming a couple weeks. Walmart is doing a special screening on July the 9th. It's a Sunday. We will watch on July the 10th, a special screening. But Walmart is doing this. If you have time on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday 3:00, you might check that. You might still have tickets. If not, on the 10th and officially on the 12th, the movie is out.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. Okay, the what is it? The the American Academy of Motion Picture. What? Anyway, the Oscars. They've got a whole bunch of new rules. Impositions all regarding diversity that are
it's very frustrating.
Let's just first emphasize diversity is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a very good thing. Diversity is good.
Yeah, but it's diversity.
Rules forcing it for no reason other than just like having token checklist people. That's
it's diversity imposition. It's not based on merit. It's based on talent. It's based on it's imposed by quote law. It's not a law. It's a academy rule. It was academy decision concerning the Oscar nominations. This has been causing frustrations among industry people, specialists, and fans. Richard Dreyfuss was not long ago saying like, that's BS. That's the most stupid thing I ever heard. It's gonna destroy the industry. Anyways, the rules seem to come to stay, and the rules state that for diversity's sake, Oscar-nominated movies, meaning only movies that are gonna be eligible to be nominated, therefore movies that might win an Oscar.
Nominated for any category or just Best Picture?
Any category, yes.
Okay.
So they're gonna have to have people of color or LG community as the lead or the main character. They're gonna have to have people of color or LG story related. So the story has to be about people of color or LG community people. Also, they're gonna have to have people on these categories as part of the cast. They're gonna have to have, I can't remember if it's 2 or I didn't write down. It's 2 of those, at least 2 of those, or they're gonna have to have a production company or the senior executives are people of color or LG community, or a very considerable number of people on these communities that are on
like
internships
on
on the company, on the offices, or on the set, or either way. So it ties things, in ways that movies, and here we only cite 2, that movies like The Godfather, or I don't know, World War II movies.
Yeah, like Saving Private Ryan.
Or Schindler's List.
Yeah.
That were nominated and won an Oscar. They will not even be nominated. They're gonna be eliminated by this rule.
So Okay, so do they have to meet all of these criteria?
No, all together.
Or just like
I can't remember if it's 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Okay, so in theory, they could just like throw in some extras and have a bunch of interns.
No. It can be extras.
Oh, they can't be extras.
Lead or main character.
Yeah.
Story or cast.
Yeah, so I guess that, well, okay.
Anyways, they will find ways to do that. They will pay, I don't know. They will pay a person of color, LG community intern to sit there just for the production, and then maybe fire him or her after. So there's ways to, rules. People bend rules, and come on, Hollywood does that and always did. But and Dreyfuss said something about Spielberg says something about the whole changing of the E.T. and how he regretted to change a movie. There was a flag for an era to what's the new social fashion decisions of society at some point. It's like the movie was made for that. You should watch the movie. If you don't like it, fine. It was technically not made for you. It was made for people of that era. So Dreyfuss said the same thing. We're creating positions related to social social questions of this time that are gonna make harder, impossible to make movies like the movies were made or in the future. And if you keep giving room to that kind of thing, there's always someone that will be offended with reason, but some people with no reason or little reason. It tightens things so much that soon enough you're gonna live in a society that we all wear silver or plastic, and because nobody can wear collars, and the movies will all be the same. It's sanitizes and yeah. Anyways.
This is interesting coming today because of the Supreme Court decision about affirmative action in college admissions, and the majority opinion was that colleges, the whole idea of affirmative action is not constitutional, and I feel like this is really, even if you don't call it affirmative action, it's basically affirmative action, right? Like saying that because of, and there's two sides to this, and I think there's a very valid point that because of prejudices and biases and all the rest, that there are communities who have not had the same opportunities that other people have had, strictly because of their background or the color of their skin or whatever. And that's certainly true. But the majority opinion from the Supreme Court said that like the colleges were not able to prove that affirmative action had actually helped anything, had really like demonstrably or like noticeably like changed anything for the better, and so I feel like we're gonna run into a similar situation here. Are these Oscar rules actually going to change anything for the better, or are they just going to create more scrutiny and skepticism about any person of color or queer person working in the movies?
It's like and Hollywood's been doing this and causing that kind of controversy. James Gunn got pissed because people said that he cast the High Evolutionary on the latest Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, Jonathan, no.
Black, and he said it was his first choice, which sounds like BS from him because the character is he said he was not the first, the best choice, but it was like it's like he's best actor in the planet ever, because if he did Denzel Washington, okay, sure, but he cast a guy that would just work with him in Suicide Squad, and I guess so. I
thought he was great in the role.
It wasn't bad, but I mean, the excuses every time. Every time that happened and people pointed out, they said it's not because of the collar. Ah, come on.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like if we didn't have this stuff on the mind, would we even think that?
Yeah.
Probably not. But like with like those Oscar rules and stuff like that, like it's got everybody thinking. So, like, yeah, I recognize that there's a problem, but I don't know that this really helps anything.
Yeah,
It feeds the whole, like,
creates a problem,
that
right?
phrase, the soft bigotry of low expectations. It just feels like we've repackaged
'Cause that person-
racism in a
because-
totally different way and just handed a different set of rhetoric to, like, the actual racist.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause
it doesn't, I
what-
don't feel like we've actually solved any problems.
if there's merit to some of those casting decisions,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if there is, because sometimes they might not.
Mm-hmm.
It might be because of political decisions, impositions from the studios, etc., etc. But if there's merits to someone that gets a role, because of this whole status quo of, you know, it diminished the merit of the person. It's like, oh, maybe that person was the best they found, but because they're so, like, yeah, was it? You know?
Yeah, I just gonna add this skepticism.
Yeah.
Which is
Anyways,
really unfair.
that Supreme Court bid. I can't remember what was it. I don't think it was this. The Supreme Court. I put it there.
No, I put that there.
Oh, you put it there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like,
That was my contribution.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
Look at us being a team.
Yes, yeah. I mean, in the writers' room, we don't look at each other. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Oh, you're on our laptops. Anyways, okay.
Ah, what a vision. Okay, CNN for sale.
CNN, also Warner. I mean, among every other crisis they're having, CNN is failing. And
Crises of their own making, I feel like. I'm just going to throw that out there.
It's always of their own making. But there's rumors that CNN might be for sale soon. And Jerry's okay. Jerry Zucker, former president of the company, might be want to buy, but who knows? Could be China. Could be people with a lot of money. They're not involved. Anyways.
Okay, so for years, dare I say decades, San Diego Comic-Con has been the Comic-Con. They've even, like, taken it to court that they are the Comic-Con. And they've gotten, like, the big studios to come, big panels, everybody knows Hall H, releasing exclusive content, debuting content, all this stuff. This year, it looks like that's going to change.
Yeah. Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm, what else?
HBO, Sony, Universal.
Netflix, Universal, the not coming to Netflix, to San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah. And in fact, Netflix had their own event.
Yeah.
They called it Tudum, which I think is very funny.
You know what it is, eh?
Oh, yeah. Tudum.
Tudum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's one show that's really taken advantage of that, and that's the Dragon Prince. There's this little, like, lizard character. And so when they do the Tudum, it's actually the lizard crawls on and just looks at the screen and goes, Tudum.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
It's so funny.
Yeah. And the
More shows need to do that.
And the Tudum event was like the place to be. Henry Cavill was there.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot, Zack Snyder. Jeez, I was like,
Yeah.
It is.
And they did it in Brazil.
They did it in Brazil.
Yeah.
It's a big
So
market.
cool.
They've been doing stuff there. They got a Comic-Con that is
That's
big.
right, and DC did.
And they show trailers exclusives there. Yeah. Anyways,
Anyway.
so the big ones are not coming to the Hall H, and
Yeah.
there's some of the blame to the writers' strike, but I guess they are the scapegoat for the moment. Everything they blame on them. Oh, I'm gonna cancel you.
It's the Writers Guild.
Oh, I'm sorry about this. Yeah.
We'll see. So fans are optimistic that maybe San Diego is going to, like, come back to its roots as being, like, an actual comic book Comic-Con. That's a little bit tamer, a little bit smaller, more fan-friendly. And then maybe some of the other cons around the country will get a little more
but
love and attention.
I don't have details about all the studios, but Marvel will not going to Hall H, but they still be on the floor. So
Okay,
they're still
that's
gonna do a lot.
Yeah. All right. A couple cancellations. Gattaca and Seasoned are not moving forward
Yeah.
at Showtime.
And this one is the funniest thing about Josh Gad. I mean, not about Josh Gad, but about Josh Gad. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The funny thing about his reboot is that will not happen.
Okay. So that's fine. It's so nice to hear about Disney dropping a reboot. Like, oh, what lovely news.
Yeah, there's talent out there. There's cool things to do. It's like this new Tony Gilroy movie. It's called The Creator with Isaiah Washington. Is that his name, right? Isaiah D. Washington?
John David Washington.
John David Washington.
Yeah, the son of Denzel Washington.
Yeah, but that's why that is there for some reason. Anyways, sci-fi looks cool, looks intense. Yeah,
it does.
That's some Terminator vibes in good ways.
Terminator, iRobot.
Yeah.
Plays in some cool sci-fi themes.
Yeah, Kid. Yeah. Anyways, talking about Kid in Mandalorian.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the Mandalorian has a kid.
It does.
Also, The Last of Us has a kid.
Yes.
And
a Mandalorian.
And who was the Mandalorian? And who was The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Joaquin Pascal. No, Pedro Pascal.
There you go.
There's rumors this week came up that the producers actually talked. It's some of those news that are not really news. It's like, someone said that they wanted. Oh, someone said that they didn't want. Oh, someone said they talked. Anyways, but there's a talk to Matthew McConaughey to be Joel in The Last of Us.
I think it would have been really distracting.
Why?
Because he's Matthew McConaughey. Like, he's one of those actors I can't. He never quite fully disappears into the role for me.
What?
I just see Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, he did win an Oscar, and he's very...
He did. I'm not saying he's a bad actor.
No, I mean, on that role, he's very, very different. I mean, on the dramatic roles, he's, on Time to Kill, is very different from How to Lose a Man in 10 Days.
It's true. He's a good actor, but I feel like... I don't know. I'm glad they went with Pedro Pascal.
I think he would do great. I think, and he can grow a beard. So points for Matthew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sick burn, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, couple of truly bizarre pieces of news.
Did you talk about this last week?
I don't think so.
Okay, so let's go.
Even if we did, it's worth mentioning again. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg have agreed. Have they agreed to hold a cage fight?
Yeah, Vegas, the Octagon.
Actual heck.
Yeah.
Actually, in the words of our 4-year-old, what in freaking hell? She has a story problem. We're working on it.
Anyway. This happens all the time. It was once and done. She's in solitary now.
Yeah.
Anyways, what happened was Zuckerberg. He does MMA. He practices MMA, and he posted on social media because he has one.
Yeah.
And Musk says like, hey, we should go on a cage fight, something like that. And then Zuckerberg says, yeah, sure. Name the place and the time. And then Joe Rogan is mediating the whole thing, and they're gonna do an octagon in Las Vegas. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do pay-per-view and all that, and the money's gonna go to charity. So a good thing out of this ridiculousness. But
you know what? If like the mega billionaires want to spend some time and money beating each other up, knock yourselves out.
But if anything, some people close to Musk is like, dude, that guy is young and tough because he does a lot. So he's stuff is buff. And it's like you're old. It's like you're gonna kick ass. It's like don't worry. So when Elon Musk says don't worry, that's gonna be
So it's Team Elon, like a robot versus
Team
alien
Elon
thing.
kick Zuckerberg in his bird. Anyways,
we'll find out. Okay, more bizarre news. In the great state of Missouri, there's an invasive fish species, and this happens all the time. Invasive fish, plants, birds, whatever. But invasive fish species has been found in Missouri that can survive on land.
Right? It's crazy.
It's like the one thing we've got on the fish, but not on this fish. So it's all over, folks.
Yeah. And last but not least, Adele, that bought Sylvester Stallone's mansion not long ago, Sly said that she wanted the statue.
Yeah.
So she not only is keeping the iconic Rocky statue near the pool at the mansion she recently bought from Sylvester Stallone, but it also turns out the statue was actually a deal breaker when it came to getting the house.
She wasn't going to buy the house without the statue.
He reflected, in that Stallone, he reflected on selling the property in a new interview, saying he wanted to take the statue, but Adele said it would blow the whole deal. It's all water under the bridge. And yeah,
That's from Entertainment Tonight, if you want to know more.
and yeah, it turned out that she actually ordered the Rocky's house, not just a house.
Not just any house, yeah.
Yeah. So
Frankly, I've never like thought to myself, gosh, it'd be great to have a statue of Rocky around. But yeah, if we were buying his house, absolutely I would keep that statue.
yeah. Well, no, she bought the Sly's house.
Yeah, that's what I'm
with
saying.
the
Like-
statue,
like
not only the statue or not only the house.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what it is. But I'm saying, like, if we were in that same position, like, I've never wanted a statue, but if we were buying Sly's house, like, I would very much want to keep that statue.
Yeah,
there.
but she wanted to buy Sly's house.
I'm agreeing with Adele, babe.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Because she got a house and the statue with the Rocky statue by the pool. So, what else?
That's it. That's
it.
our whole thing.
No more houses, no more statues.
No.
Yeah. Well, I guess to come back next week with more pop culture news and entertainment. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.